A lot has been made by Browns fans, both who like Shedeur Sanders and who like different quarterback competition, about the stats that were reported during the most recent portion of OTAs. Former NFL offensive lineman Mark Schlereth with some important things to keep in mind about OTAs.
This is so stupid.
Thank you.
This is so we get excited about OTAs. Like, what people don't understand is oftentimes in these OTAs, we will script success. Like, as an offense, we'll go, okay, we're going against our second team defense. Let's make sure that we script like a great route combination against a really tough, a defensive look that they're overmatched in. So sometimes you put these things together where it's not necessarily best on best. You want to see a certain thing, and you want it against a certain coverage. So you're going, hey, man, offensively, we're winning this drill today, right? Tomorrow you get to win the drill. So those things happen all the time. So it's 7-on-7 in these situations, scripted drills. To put any weight into this is just moronic.
But this is also why a lot of teams didn't want to draft him, because where's the Dillon Gabriel highlights? Where's the Kenny Pickett highlights? Where's the Joe Flacco highlights? Why is this a story? There's 4 other quarterbacks doing the same thing in a T-shirt and shorts, and I guarantee you they all look good.
Showed you the Dillon Gabriel highlights. We showed you the Joe Flacco highlights. We showed you the Kenny Pickett highlights. But, G. Bush, everybody is so anxious to get feedback. What I want to see is I want to hear that he's taking coaching. He's getting the reps that he needs to get. He's a likable guy. You listen to him, and you can hear Joe Flacco talk about him. They like Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, listen, I quite don't understand where people are coming from, where they're confused why it is that the Cleveland Browns and a lot of people in the fan base are excited about Shedeur Sanders or excited about the quarterback competition and why we're charting all those things, right? And I think of it when the national media drills down on it. They're coming from a perspective of they're coming from a really wide viewpoint of the situation. And what they don't understand is this. When you're the Cleveland Browns and you went 3-14 last year, and you're the Cleveland Browns, and we've been through the Baker stuff, we've been through the Manziel stuff. Heck, we can even go back to Tim Couch. I'm old enough to, remember all that good stuff, man, being 43. Listen, when you're looking for a quarterback and your coach says there's going to be a quarterback competition, and you got a guy in the draft that fell further than Aaron Rodgers, a guy that fell further than Brady Quinn or any of these other guys, and he has a large fan base. He can play football. Some people had him as the number 1 quarterback on his board, Mel Kiper. It's not like strangers had him that high. When a guy like that falls to you in the 5th round, and he comes to camp, and he's playing pretty well, and he looks like, hey, he can throw the ball. Hey, he hasn't acted up. He hasn't had any crazy things he said to the media. Hey, matter of fact, he's actually a really good kid. Why wouldn't you think people are starved for a quarterback would not be excited about it? I get it, it's practice. But one thing Mark Schlereth also has to understand this as well, too. It's all about where in the process you are as an organization. He had the opportunity to play with some of the guys, with John Elway and the Broncos and Davis and all those guys. See, when guys are playing at that nth degree at the top of the food chain, they forget about where the humble beginnings of something, where it comes from. I always say to people, it's easy to be cynical. We can be cynical all we want to. It won't turn out to be fun because, at the end of the day, your goal is to find a quarterback, develop a quarterback, and get to a point where you have a quarterback to put yourself in that position that the Broncos and the 49ers and the Cowboys and the Ravens, all these other teams have had. But it starts somewhere. And so every single rep to somebody counts. I like the fact that Kevin Stefanski said, hey, we're going to bring in a bunch of other guys and free agents, and we're going to have two different sets of guys working on different fields. And we want to get to see Dillon Gabriel, and we want to get to see Shedeur Sanders. But guess what? We always talk about it. Every coach talks about it, from the Lombardis to the Parcells to the Belichicks. Every single day counts. And yes, it seems to be kind of overstated. And are we going to win the championship based on our steps? No. But what we are going to do is try to put down some foundational steps to say, hey, let's build something so that one day we can get there. And without taking every rep seriously, every practice seriously, competition throughout the training camp, as well as OTAs in the preseason, we can't get there. So yes, for some teams, it may seem a little silly, but for a team that's 3-14, trying to find a quarterback and starting to build some stability where we can say the Cleveland Browns can compete year in and year out in this division, these are the necessary steps. It may sound a little silly, but guess what? In the end, it counts.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't have an agenda. I just want somebody that can play quarterback to play quarterback for the Browns so we can get back to winning some football games instead of watching what we watched last year.
That's all we want. Hey, you can't be mad at people for not wanting to watch what we watched last year. We just want competent quarterback play, and if it's Joe Flacco, if it's Pickett, it's Dylan Gabriel, or Shedeur Sanders, hey, may the best man win. This is what happens when you say it's an open quarterback competition. The Cleveland Browns invited that. Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel or Pickett or Flacco didn't. They said it, so we got to live with it.
Yeah, and it should be. It quite frankly should be. And you should have four. Four might not be enough because you don't have anybody that's like, that's the guy. So give yourself as many chances as you can to find a guy.